Hello, beautiful muses. Welcome back to Cosmo Muse Tarot and a new 5-minute Friday yes, no, maybe question reading, which is shorthand. That 5-minute is shorthand for just a short reading. It's usually, a handful of minutes over 5, even up to 10 minutes sometimes, but they are meant to be kind of succinct and short and quick kind of insight into your sort of yes, no type of questions. One thing to know before we look at the piles is frame your question so that the yes answer would be the answer you would most hope to receive, which just makes everything a little bit more clearer in readings if everyone's sort of phrasing it in the same direction, I guess you could say. So that being said, let's take a look at our piles. We have pile 1 with Opalite, pile 2 with Unakite, pile 3 with Obsidian, and pile 4 with Snakeskin Agate. All right, for those of you that like the breath work I do, we'll do that now. So place your feet firmly on the ground, feeling its support. Taking a breath in to kind of anchor into your body, into the ground. And now take a deep inhale and draw the oxygen up, up, up toward the place between your brows. Hold that. Suck in a little more air to add pressure. And then with an out loud exhale, let it out, opening your crown chakra. Okay, if you need more time to do more breaths or your own process of asking these stones and piles which has your most aligned answer, you can pause here, and when you are ready, the timestamps will be in the descriptions, and I will see you in your readings. Hello, pile 1. If this is you guys, you picked the Opalite stone. And just a quick intuitive hit I got from both this stone and a couple of the tarot cards flipped over. I didn't see what the actual card itself was, but I did see some animals on them, which also kind of, it's almost like I was meant to know that in that intuitive hit place. So in tandem, what I saw versus what I felt and kind of melding those together, I feel like there's something around pertaining to your question where it's like you're trying something in a new way or something for the first time, and you're really having to be sort of close to the ground here, feeling things, sensing things, really pushing into kind of instinct of like how things should feel or look or orient, that kind of thing. So it doesn't have to do with the yes or no, but there's something about that kind of energy going on here. Okay, we are going to take a look at this top row first, which is your tarot, to see if we can tease out a yes, no, or maybe. Okay, so Father of Wands, Mother of Wands. Wow, okay. And Mother of Pentacles. Wow, all court cards. Which feels very much so like a yes to me. But I am paying attention to, I saw the 2 snakes and I didn't know what card they represented, but I saw them and I still am very much so, and look at this, both the mothers are sort of, this snake is wound around some eggs. Put that closer so you can see. And then the Mother of Pentacles has a little doe with her that's kind of nestled in. So there's definitely, to me, it's like there's something you are nurturing. And then looking at this kind of like lightning bolt coming in with the Father of Wands, the energy I'm getting here is you are an incredibly creative person, or whatever this question pertains to. There's a lot of creative energy here, a lot of mastery here, and a lot of care here. But it's like something's come in and shaken things up, sort of reoriented how you're having to do things, how you're seeing things, which can be destabilizing as one part, but also very exciting and sort of consciousness expanding on another part. But there is sort of this impulse, there is this thing around this question where it's sort of like you're having to experiment here. And so I am, for the most part, getting a yes here. But I want to see your other cards, because for some of you it might be a maybe. And it just comes with the nature of sort of what I was sensing in this lightning, of like there is some experimentation here. There is, like, even though it's sort of like you're very masterful around generally what's going on with this question, there's something different happening that's new, that kind of has you a little bit, not necessarily off your game, but on your toes, and really needing to stay close to what feels good, what your senses are saying, which also makes me feel like there's things that you really need to watch out for as well. And that's where like the maybes coming in for me, is because there's just something a little on its head for you. So I want to look at the other cards and see, before I really settle, you know, I'm like between that. If there was a spectrum of yes, maybe, no, it's like I'm feeling somewhere between the maybe and yes right now. And I just want to look at the other cards and kind of see what else comes out here. So 8th house of mystery, solar flares activate, and Mercury messenger. Beautiful. Yeah, I feel like that solar flare energy has come, and like sometimes that can really expand our consciousness, and Mercury here too. It's like there's a lot of moving parts. This is all just sort of confirming everything I already felt. The 8th house to me is pointing a little bit more specifically to maybe what you can do to tip the scales to the yes versus the maybe here, is like really pay attention to what's under the surface. There's some sort of mystery, there's some sort of connection to your own sense of empowerment and your life force feeling like it's empowered to be moving in precise and channeled and really vital ways. And I think that's where you need to be like really close to the ground, really caring for what this all involves. Like there's something you're needing to protect here, and there's something you're needing to see under the surface here. Oh, look, we've got, you know, with the Mercury, the Caduce, we've got the 2 snakes again. So that's 4 snakes coming through. Yeah, really, really connecting to your senses, what you can, your 5 senses, what you can perceive, sensation and perception, what your senses are doing to inform you and how they are forming your perceptions. It's the way you're going to orient yourself and the way you're going to understand how there's something more under the surface here than you're aware of. That's what I'm feeling like. There's something more under the surface than you're aware of, and that's where this lightning bolt and the solar flares are trying to kind of reorient you and shock you into seeing, witnessing certain things kind of below the surface of where you are previously at with this question, or maybe that's already sort of started to happen. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say that this is very close to a yes. I'm not going to give you a full yes, but I feel like it's better than a maybe. Like you're in between the maybe and the yes, and you can really tip it towards the yes if you can just really stay connected to your senses, really protect certain things, and really kind of keep on top of all of the moving parts in terms of something about this being a little bit different and reoriented from where you're used to being. Okay, let's look at your oracle cards, and that might even give us a little bit more cognizance. This is Mercury. Yeah, your mind is expanding here. So definitely, like, something I want to say is, like, even if this doesn't end up being a full yes, whatever is happening here is really expanding your awareness, your consciousness, which is always just like a really beautiful, positive thing in itself. Okay, and then flowers, happiness. That's a very good sign. And then claw, be careful. Do not take risks. And maybe that's why both of these mother energies came in, of protecting something. There's something you need to be very protective of. And follow, this gives me more clues about what you're needing to use your senses for and perceptions for, is like follow sensations that bring you happiness. And that is the path to your yes. If you can really stay connected to your senses and your perceptions, and follow those like you're following some sort of mystery thread. Follow the thread that continues to bring happiness your way, and that is your way to the yes. Okay, that is where I'm going to leave you guys. Very interesting reading, very interesting yes, no, maybe. So very much so a potential yes, but it's like stay, it's sitting in the maybe, but closer to the yes spectrum. But if you can follow threads of happiness through different mysteries and really protect certain things, it's very much so possible to have a yes. But even if somehow that doesn't happen, there is something going on here that is really expanding your awareness and consciousness. So, all right, if this resonated for you guys, I always appreciate a thumbs up. It lets me know if this is connecting, as well as helps my algorithm. And I always also love little comments, and of course, subscribe if you are not yet. All right, see you guys. Hello, pile 2. If this is you guys, you picked the Unakite stone. And just a quick intuitive hit I got from this stone that doesn't pertain to the yes or no, but just something about the energy around this question and things I was feeling as I was shuffling your cards, is there's definitely like some anxiety I'm feeling around either you or your question. And just some advice that could come through is like stay a little bit more in the present moment. Like there's some meandering of the mind, which can lead the mind to kind of telling itself stories. But if you can sort of ground and be more in the present, there's something here that will, kind of alleviate some, it's not like overwhelming anxiety, but it's like a meandering sort of fidgety feeling. Okay, we are going to start with the top row, which is the tarot cards, to see if we can tease out whether this is a yes, no, or maybe. So 10 of Pentacles, which is a beautiful sign. 2 of Cups, and 3 of Cups. Yeah, I mean, this feels very much so like a yes to me. So it's sort of like going back to that card, I think things are very much so on track and where they're supposed to be. And so you need to just sort of stay present to that is like the one advice I would kick through is like everything around the energy here is going in the right direction. It's very aligned for you. It's very fruitful, but there are these sort of maybe insecurities coming through and old narratives and daydreaminess that can kind of lead you to see or feel things that aren't true or necessary. Yeah, so it's just like staying more present to the fact that things are aligned. So just, stay with that and yeah, find a little bit more focus is what I'm feeling. Find a little bit more focus because this is a yes, but yeses still come in a spectrum, And I think what I would say is this, even though it's going to be a yes and it's probably going to be the same result no matter what, this can be a yes that feels good to you or a yes that even though it's yes, you're still like in this weird, in like narratives your mind is making up. So you're not really feeling the best of the yes coming through here. It's like you, even though it's a yes, you still are living in this kind of uncertainty or insecurity about something. So it's just like, just stay present, stay focused, and just really grateful, You have a choice here of how you feel in the yes of this, I guess is what I want to say. Okay, let's look at the astrology here. 6th house, sustainability. So this could have to do with either work or health or your just day-to-day kind of rhythms and priorities. And then we have Capricorn, achieve. And then midheaven in reverse. So this feels, because Capricorn and midheaven have a correlation, really like position in the world, mastery, and then the 6th house, one of its things it can relate to is work. So I am feeling that this probably has to do with work, career, what you're building, some sort of authority in here. And then the midheaven upside down to me is feeling like where you're getting kind of tripped up in your mind and letting it kind of go off on narratives that aren't real, and where you need to stay a little bit more focused on what is real, what's right in front of you, what like come into a much more reality-based place, which is, like I don't always give that advice to stay just really concretely in the reality of things, because I think there's beautiful things in daydreams, in the ethereal, but for whatever this question pertains to, because of certain stories your mind can get into, you'll get a much better sensation with your yes, an experience of your yes, if you can just be really concrete, really pragmatic, and really based in the reality of what's right here in the present in front of you right now. And you'll kind of flip around, meandering into places that are making you not feel happy. Yeah, so just stay grounded, stay practical, stay real, stay in the moment. Okay, let's look at your oracle cards to get just a little bit more. Eternal return. This makes me feel like you've put in a lot of work. You are owed some dues here and they're coming in, and you just have to decide to be present to that and accepting and allowing and let it flow. Like, be with it, let it flow, notice it, and just find gratitude for each moment and for all of the payoffs that are coming in here. Now it looks like I accidentally got 3 cards of your tea leaf, which we'll just see what comes up with these. Do not be tempted to lower your standards with the flag. Yeah, I mean, Capricorn in midheaven is like, keep your eye on the prize, on that summit, on the pinnacle. Stay focused. To me, that's like, find that focus spot that's real, that's in front of you. And then fair woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. This might be someone who's been helpful or that has some guidance, or this could indicate you. And then table, hard work ahead. I mean, yeah, Capricorn, 6th house, midheaven. I think you probably know that and are great with that. And I think maybe staying in just the work that's on your plate at each moment will also help you just to stay focused and in the present. Beautiful. But I mean, definitely a yes here, and it's just up to you of whether you enjoy that yes or not, and really allow the beautiful things coming in, the payoffs coming in, to feel good to you. So, I mean, you know, congratulations, and just stay present to the beautiful things coming in for you. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonates, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Definitely helps me know that it's connecting, you know, I'm connecting with you guys, as well as, you know, helps my algorithm at the same time. Little comments are always really fun to check in on, and definitely subscribed if you are not yet. All right, I'll see you guys later. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your yes, no, maybe reading. If this is you guys, you picked this beautiful obsidian stone. And a quick intuitive hit I got for you guys, and I did have one of the tarot cards sort of flip over. Some of these flipped too, but I was able to flip them back before I had any kind of, you know, concept or real visual imprint of what they were. But there was one that flipped over here, and I did see an animal on it. I don't know what the card is itself, like court or a number or whatever. But those things sort of inform, it's sort of like when they happen, I feel like they're meant to, and especially when I'm just trying to get a feel for things, sometimes that visual is supposed to come into to affect how I'm feeling about just like an intuitive hit that I'm trying to capture here. That doesn't have to do with the yes or no, but it's just like an added sort of overlay of energy and sense around either your energy or energy around this question. That being said, what I did actually see in the animal type of thing, I think in some cases, if I were to see that, I would be like, ugh, that's not good. But that wasn't what I felt, even though it was sort of a scary-ish image, you know, and you have the black obsidian stone. There was like, definitely like suddenly like a darkness came in, but it didn't feel scary. It didn't feel intimidating. It felt almost like very intentional to go to that place. So there may be something around your energy or this question where you're kind of under the surface of things and really down intentionally witnessing certain things and being very like ready and courageous to do that. So I don't know, hopefully if that doesn't, if that's like way off base for where your question is, you may want to try a different pile, because it was kind of a specific sort of intense energy that came through here. But then also like some cards were flipping otherwise that I didn't really get any sense of, but they kept wanting to flip. So I feel like something is happening fast here. So we're gonna look at this top row first. So this was the card I saw, which is 9 of Swords. Yeah. Yeah, so this top row, we're gonna tease out a yes, no, maybe. So 4 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups. Yeah, that's where I feel like you definitely have some balance in this. Like there's something about what you're doing, going under the surface, especially maybe in mind, where there are certain fears that could even be very baseless fears that you're really observing. I like the eyeballs here and I like the worms here. It's like you're under the surface witnessing sort of like your nervous system and your stress response process and how you deal with stress and narratives your mind creates. And it's sort of like you're under the surface really doing some deep work of understanding this, where it's coming from, what puts you into this place, how that works for you, how fear in general works for you. And it's funny that I got no fear when that turned over around this. I feel like it's like something you're intentionally digging into that's bringing you greater stability and foundations. I would say continue on with that work. It's really helping you to create like new, much more solid foundations in your life and stability, security and stability in your life, and not just mentally. It's sort of like by analyzing and witnessing and doing some deep work about your mental processes and stress processes, there's an overall stability that you're anchoring into your life by doing that, that's beyond just your mind, that's just like grounding, feeling much more embodied as well. And then the 10 of Cups coming in here is just like the culmination of this work is like really, really beautiful, deep understanding and meaning coming through here. So yeah, there's this question feels incredibly specific. So if this is not resonating for you, this is probably not your pile, because it feels way more specific than I usually get. But yeah, I think there's some deep dive witnessing of your mental processes, what kinds of things trigger fear and fear narratives in your mind, understanding your nervous system, and really getting a grasp of that, digesting it and revitalizing things here, really creating more nurtured environment around that, creating stability, which is bringing a lot of meaning, a lot of flow and harmony and beauty to your life. So that's just what's happening. It's not like, this is like not yet a yes, no, maybe. It's like, this is what's going on. And that is just really specific. So yeah, for a lot of you, you may need to go to a different pile, but I think for some people, this message, the Spirit just found an opening through this reading to tell you something about this. So anyway, let's look at some astrology. Yeah, you're down in the roots, you're really anchoring in, you're finding your grounding, you're finding some depth and richness and fertility. Pallas Athena, you're redoing how you think and finding a lot more security and grounding in the way you think. And Libra, and it's going to reestablish, so this is upside down, balance, Libra, and this is like something about how your mind has worked and not been there's been maybe some insecurity and anxiety in your mind that's created some imbalance in the work you're doing right now. And something maybe pertaining to your question, though I feel like we're beyond like really questions here, is reestablishing some balance. It's the process you're going through right now. If you stay on this track, it's reestablishing a beautiful balance in you. Okay, let's look at your oracle cards. Yeah, stay active, stay assertive with this, stay aware with it. And I got that impression that you're moving through this very quickly. There's a lot of activity here and a lot of like, this was your intention. Like this was you chose to do this. So it's not scary. You have a lot of awareness and intention here, and just stay active, you're moving through this fast. Okay, last thing, some tea leaves. spear, heartache over what you no longer have. So maybe there is something that happened, maybe your question or why ever spirit drew you to this pile and drew you here. Maybe there has been some kind of loss that's hurt your heart pertaining to or that triggered either pertaining to the way your mind has held certain anxiety or that triggered this in you. So there's maybe some heartache that's driven you to be doing this kind of work. And then scales, keep your life in balance. And that's what's happening. You're really getting under the roots of things, into the depths of things, to the heart of things, to understand what tips you off balance. And where your greatest triggers are, especially for mind, especially for feeling like very connected to your intuitive wisdom as well. Something's really getting reestablished in balance here because you're getting down into the roots of something about this for you. Okay, that is your reading. That's where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Little comments are really fun to read as well. And definitely, if you're not subscribed yet, please do so. All right, see you guys in another reading. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to your yes, no, maybe reading. This is you guys. You picked the Snakeskin Agate. And just a quick intuitive hit I got with this stone was sort of like, you're certainly, either around your energy or the energy of the question, and it doesn't really have to do with the yes or no, but just some context, something I'm feeling here is like, you're starting to notice more beauty and harmony around either yourself or something about what this question pertains to, but it's like you keep coming up to some kind of limit where you can't quite find the quality, the beauty, the piece of something you're looking for. There's always like some piece that's just a little bit off, and the kind of guidance I felt come through was like, you need to drop a little bit more into your heart here versus your head, like whatever this thing is that you cannot quite get right. It's like your mind, your head, your brain, it doesn't have the answer. You're not going to figure it out there, but dropping into your heart, something will flow and it will align, or like things will kind of compose better, I guess you could say. Okay, so that was just sort of a general vibe. We're going to look to start at the top row here, which are your tarot cards, to see if we can tease out a yes, no, maybe for this question. So 7. Oh, this is the Hanged Man. Sorry. Yeah, dropping further into heart. 2 of Wands and 6 of Cups. Beautiful. To me, just the sense this first card that came out is giving me is there's very much so the potential for the yes, but I am going to say that this is a maybe, because it's going to depend on whether you can change, reorient how you're working with this question into your heart versus your mind. And if you can drop into your heart, what will come are like completely new orientation, new paths opening, new impulses, new passion coming through, like a dimension shift, as well as like connecting into aspects of your DNA that have yet to fully come into their own, fully present themselves. For those of you that understand a little bit about epigenetics, it's like there's something that's been too tightly wound to be released, that your genetics contains. That's a beautiful gift that you have access to, but there's something about dropping into heart, seeing the dimension shift, seeing new paths opening and walking through, that like unravels, like relaxes something, that unravels something you have access to, that brings a beautiful gift of yours much more online. And it may be that there's someone in your family line that you've known, sibling, a parent, a grandparent, and even if you knew a lot about a great-grandparent and have certain histories or things you've felt very connected to in them. Yeah, if there's anyone on your mind that you're like, I feel like I'm like them, or like I was definitely supposed to be in their line and I really admire this thing about them and I wish I had more of that. I feel like I could, but I'm just like really admiring of this thing. You have it. It just, something's been too tightly wound in your DNA. It hasn't been freed up in you yet, but this is kind of coming through to say it's time. And if you can drop into your heart, this will happen. Like a whole new side of yourself will open up into certain things you've always admired. Even if you can't think of an ancestor like this, maybe there's some person in the world, some quality in the world that you've always admired, and it's like you've admired it because it's part of you, it's in you, and it's like really asking to be unwound and to come to the surface, and just a slight reorientation toward more coming through your heart. It's like so close. So you all have yet access to the yes, and the only reason it's maybe is it's dependent on you doing the work to learn how to let your heart navigate and lead you more than your mind here, especially around whatever this question is. Okay, let's look at your astrology. We have Descendant, Invitation in reverse, Sagittarius, Expand in reverse, and then the North Node, Future. Oh, I love this. Okay, so totally connected to, this thing that you feel is like destined, it's part of you, it's part of your orientation and direction in life, but it's like it's been locked up. So your connection to beautiful relationships, or an ability to really harmonize and find elegance and balance and peace and dynamic dance-like quality and trust with and around others, and an ability to expand with them as well, like really expand your life. It's interesting because the last yes or no, it was a different reading I just did. It was the last reading I just did that was not a yes or no. I would be curious if certain people who picked a pile in that also picked this, because it's very similar energy of something about either expanding your life with a partner or expanding your life to include a partner, and just like new opportunities, pushing past boundaries you're currently in because of something with partnership. And it could even be beyond like romantic. Maybe there's business partnerships. It could be all kinds of partnerships, but something about expanding your life to include partners, or with a partner. And it's definitely, this pushes me a lot more towards a yes for everyone, that this is there's something destined here. It's in your code. It's in your direction. You're very hungry for this. It's coming online now. And the last little hump you need to get over is like trusting your heart to lead this. Yeah, gorgeous. Okay. And then we have a couple of Oracle cards, limbo. Yeah. I honestly think there's a timing thing here. It's like this wasn't supposed to come online in your DNA until now. And you've had this sense of feeling of limbo, like it's supposed to be here, but why doesn't it ever show up? This thing about me that's able to, really harmonize with others and expand life through that. There's something that's been like stagnant here that you've felt hungry for, and it's like, I know this is part of my patterning, but I can't get there. And it's partially a timing thing. This was supposed to come online right now for you guys. It was meant to be a little bit dormant for a while. There was like other things karmically I think you were supposed to deal with before you could really have that clear path and that clear fresh opening with that Two of Wands. Like that wasn't open to you until right now. And it's open now, but you need to drop into your heart in order to perceive it and see that opening. Okay, last we've got Fox, shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. So it could be business partnerships too, or a partnership that does business, gets into business. It could be, a love partnership and you get into a business together, or it could be a business partnership. But yeah, like maybe that's sort of also a quality coming on here as a shrewdness and a resourcefulness kind of all of a sudden turning on. And then Ant, work, achievement, success. And I think that's your intention. I think you're okay with and seeking some work, achievement, and success here. That's the path forward with this kind of partnership and expansion. So yeah, I mean, I just get the sense that this is a timing thing. The gate is now open. It's in your DNA. The only thing you have to do is drop into your heart in order to perceive this and walk toward and through this new portal that sort of helps this unravel in you and come online. And yeah, expand with partners, expand to include a partner, and some sort of work and shrewdness and resourcefulness that helps that expansion take place. So yeah. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, sorry, I was laughing because I was looking at the time and I'm like way over what I like to do. Okay. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up. It lets me know that I am resonating with you guys, as well as helps my algorithm. Little comments are always fun to read too. And subscribe if you're not yet. All right, see you guys.